Okay then, lovelies, let's crack on and build. Let's put the base aside. Let's build our Skumdrekk first, seeing as he's first on the destruction list. Right, glue. Again, I'm using EMA Plastic World because that's my preferred go-to glue. Right, so the first things first, when you come to build him, he's going to be sitting on a seat, which is this wirework seat you can see there. So you're going to glue his legs together. And these aren't tabbed in any way, which I think is a shame. There's some tiny little pins, but I think a proper tab would have been much more appropriate. In this instance. And then essentially you're going to stick his backside on there. And there is a tab and a slot that he's going to go into. So hopefully you should end up with him in the right position. Alright, there you go. Backside and legs done. Now, moving on to his torso, he has some armour plate front and rear. So the front armour's gone on, and the back armour is going to go on. Like thus. Then it's saying glue his helmet together, which is this contraption. So we got his head here, and he's got a flat head because this face guard is going to go on like so. So I think it's probably best to drop your liquid cement or whatever you're using into that recess and then marry it up like so, nice and easy. You're then going to glue him together, glue his two halves together, which, yeah, kind of nicely locates together. So there is a satisfying little point where it will go in and won't turn anymore. Which is that. I'm then going to glue his hand on. And that doesn't make sense. Going to need the magnifier for this, so excuse the light. Okay, that's better. Right. So the top of the armour plate on the hand guard is going to just hook over the pinky finger, and it's going to attach like so, just like that. Then we're going to come in with the head. And then finally his arm with the grabber, and this has got a little dimple on it, so in theory it should only go one way, which is like that. So that's Skumdrekk and how he will end up. Now let's start our slogger. Now the first thing I'm going to do is these little ancillary bits. Now just be careful, I did break this, so I'm going to just need to quickly glue that back together. But this comes as is, doesn't really need gluing unless you break it like I did. That just goes back on. Now you have these little cages, which these are, there's three, there's two large ones and then a tiny one, and they literally just glue together, and just make sure that you marry up the bars. So I found it easiest to glue this at the top like so, and then just check and make sure that your bars are aligned nicely. And just go round 1, 2, and then 1, 2 there. Okay, and then once that's happened, this comes in, and just notice the way that it's built. It's got 3 holes at the front, which will slide onto the 3 longer protruding bars. And then again, the easiest way to deal with this was to literally slide it on. Then once it was on, just go round and check, glue all the contact points, and that is the cages. And then this will just glue into that position there, and this is a nice firm, once it's on and pushed together, the cage will tilt to the proper direction. Okay, and I've done that for the other side, and then there's a little mini cage as well. So that was all those done, and they're just done. They're now drying. Okay, I'm going to come and do the head. So we have the neck. Now this is the main neck, and this will fit together like so. So the main neck piece here will go together like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in something on the top there, which will make this slightly easier to attach. And it's nice that the seam lines for this follow the line of the material that covers this portion of the neck. And then you can just press that up together. And there you go. So that's that part of it done. Then we have the head, which you're going to need to stick the tongue in. Now the tongue lolls off to one side. And you're just going to align it at the back like that. Okay, so the tongue lolls off to one side, so you need to hook it over the mouth and rotate it like that. And then just come in with the other side of the head. Now, what I'm actually going to do is just on the front there, there's a tiny little nostrils and front teeth. So I'm actually going to stick that in now, like that. Okay. And then I shall come in and just glue the rest of this. Like so. We then have this top armor plate, which on this beastie is going to go on there. And there. Like so. And there is a slight overlap. Okay, with the ridge line on top of the armour. And I'm just going to pop some glue in underneath just to help stick it in place. Like so. Okay, so that's that. That then gets stuck to this little yoke, and you need to make sure it's around the right way. So you've got two attachment points here which are for the reins, and they've got little dimples in because there's little pins that will attach into it as you glue it on. Okay, so we've got a nice rim here around the edge of the yoke. I'm actually just going to drop glue into that rim. And then marry up, and then I'm going to do exactly the same this side because there's another rim, so another rim, and put a drop in there and drop in there, and then this marries up like so, and just push these two reins together, and that is your head for your slog off. Okay, now for the final part of the build, which is the slog off proper, and we're going to start with the front legs. So the front legs literally come pretty much ready assembled apart from the toes. So you're just going to pop the toes in. And that's going to go in there like so. I've already done the other leg. In preparation, because you don't need to see me do it twice. And then you've also got these feet, and I found the easiest way to do that was just pop the foot on the mat, drop glue into it, and then marry your foot up to it. Okay, like so. And that was that. That was dead easy. Right, the other thing that we're going to do is we have this tail piece here. Now this is going to attach in this manner. Now it's a little bit deceiving because it's got this cutout, but this is actually just going to go flush flat with the base. So you're lining up this end to that part there. Okay, and then there you go. Right, so they're mostly the little sub-assemblies that I wanted to do first. The next one I want to do is we've just got this little piece here that is going to go into there. So just make sure you get this round the right way, because these reins need to be at the front, so that will go into position there. Okay. Like so. Now, we have part of the howdah and part of the belly here. And I actually think it's probably going to be easier to glue the howdah together and then work out how this will go. Because it's not that clear in the picture, it looks like that's really confusing. I'm not going to lie, it is a little confusing how this goes. It looks like the V is at the front. So the howdah will attach like so, and okay, right, so there you go. Right, so this, you've got a very pronounced V that is going to face the back, and then this shallower V is going to face the front. So that will attach this way round in here. So that looks good. Bingo, so that's it there, like so. Right, whilst it's in position, come in with your cement. On the contact areas. Then just firm it up. Then we can just finish off gluing those areas. Right, we then have this leg which will come in and position itself. Just note it goes in past the line of the howdah cloth, the under blanket. And then you can come in from the underside and glue. So there's your first arm, and then your second arm is going to attach on this side like so. So there you go. And then we can put the front of the howdah on like that. Okay, right, so there you go. It's a little bit awkward in places, but it goes together. Okay. Now, back end. Your back end starts with this piece, and then we're gluing this piece to the rear tail and the rear leg. Okay, like so. Then we have this, which is the underbelly, and that's going to locate along that line on the inside. Oops, come on. Right, so. Like so, and then we will come in with the other leg, and this will be slightly easier to position because we've already got everything in place. So there is an awkwardness to this because of the way that this back support here arches over the back of the Slogoth. But that's that. And then you've got the seam line underneath the howdah cloth again, which is quite nice. So nice and easy to glue there, like so. And then we have our howdah bits again. Now, just double check the fit for this. Yep, that way round, and that's just going to push on like so. And again, the seam lines on this are hidden really well. Just add your glue in. So you basically have two halves of the same beastie at this moment in time, and then add in the tail, and the tail is tabbed in a way that it should only go on one way. Alright, and then front half, just push it together like so, and add your glue in where it joins. Okay, like so. We then have, okay, these little branches. Now it says to glue these on as part of the construction here, but I actually think it's easier to glue them in after, mainly because it's going to be easier to align everything afterwards. Okay, so number 1, and then number 2. Okie dokie then. Right, sorry. Ran out of memory just then. Right, so each of these bars have gone on. They were really easy to just like pop in and then just push into place. No problems. I've then got, and I'm going to do it this way. So because there is a lip here, pop the glue in there, popping this on. You need to make sure that the reins align, okay? So the reins come down here and align with the neck, and then I am just literally going to pop in a tiny little bit where they join. Okay, so that's pretty much our slog off. When you come to put the hanging cages in, they'll literally just glue in place there, and then the other one, the tiny one, just glues into place here, and I've not put them on for ease of painting. And then you have this here, which goes into place there. Okay. So let's glue this to the base. Let's try and find the most central position. I think that's probably about right. So now to just run some glue around there. right? And Skumdrekk will sit on the centerpiece there. Now that's an issue. Mainly because I followed the instructions and the positioning for his arm. Yeah, his thing should definitely be behind his leg there, but it gets in the way of being placed on the model. Right, so let's take this off at the join. And what we're going to do is just slightly change the position. So we're going to find out where he sits when you glue him on, and then reattach the arm. Do you know what? I think I'll go for it like that. So yeah, just be aware of that little thing, that if you build in the same way that it is in the instructions, there's going to be that issue, which is going to need addressing. So right, okay, let that dry. So there you go, that is Skumdrekk on his Sloggoth, his Marshcrawler Sloggoth. It does look imposing. It looks even better once you've got the cages on and stuff, and all the ancillary bits. There are some bits left over, so you've got a different torso and armor panels for him, like I said previously. There's a different head, and then there's a different head and neck for the Sloggoth. You won't be able to build it though, simply because you need the tongue, and it's missing the tongue for this particular, for that. But yeah, there you go, that's it. Right, hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Alright, take care, bye bye.